ACC is here, says, I saw that you got monetized, and I'm glad for you. Keep up the good work. Thank you, my friend. As I mentioned before, um, could not have done it without all of you guys showing up here. Um, just engaging, that's how you do it. Engaging with people. As I mentioned I did a short little video this morning as I was thinking about how fortunate I am that I require so little. I have a house that's paid for. I have a car that's paid for. Um, I basically need to pay my taxes, which are pretty high here. Um, I don't mind. I live in an area with great schools, public libraries, good roads, everything's taken care of. Taxes pay for that. Um, However, they get you at every angle. State tax, county tax, city tax, property tax. Um, and then, of course, home insurance and stuff like that. Overall, though, I'm incredibly fortunate. I can't complain, and I don't complain. So this is a time in my life where, if it was all possible, I could I could get income. As I mentioned this morning, um, I don't like to say make a living. I was granted living. I was gifted a living. I don't need to do anything to achieve that. However, income's a different thing. Uh, this is an opportunity where I could possibly do what I've always wanted, which is to earn a living through my creativity, whatever creativity that might be. I've been writing my entire life. I have a monetized blog. I've had some books published, but it's never been enough to, earn an income that carries me through. But now, as my needs have diminished, as my desires have diminished, um, and the unique platform that YouTube does give people, who knows? We'll see. ACC says that is like where I live. I hate taxes. It's just that they seem, again, I don't mind paying for the stuff that um, we all get to use. It just seems that it all could be taken care of a little more easily, a little more. Um, for one, you know, should be paying as much taxes for a house that's already paid for? That's the question. But as it is out of my control, um, I don't give it much concern. So how are you, ACC? Regardless of if I'm capable of um, earning an income large enough to take care of myself, um, with the luxury of buying a book now and then, more often now than then, um, I'm awfully happy for this creative period in my life. ACC says, I know my mom has a business and home, but the home is out of control on taxes. Um, yeah, like I said, how they do it just makes no sense to me. Continue paying taxes on something that is already paid for. Um, and yes, I do realize that you need to support the community. It should just be in a more equitable way, I think. And of course, income tax was a fairly recent thing. I believe less than 100 years. It was not in the presented in the Constitution. Um, and I believe it was only supposed to be for a short period of time. ACNC is fine, and she says, I think anyone should not be paying taxes on things paid for. Agreed, 100%. It's counterintuitive, I'm going to bring up my desktop in case something happens with my phone, which it occasionally does. It's also easier to see, and I can also drop links that occasionally work, but not always. Yep, I remember, and I'm looking at it now. You mentioned that your mother has a bakery, which I think is completely awesome. All right, guys. Dubclip says, love the stream. Thank you, my friend. Always appreciate it when you stop by. Yep, ACC says income tax was to pay for World War I, nothing else. Hulk is here. Hulk, my friend, how are you? How's the training going, my friend? I'm going to bring up Hulk's channel. So this may work or it may not. I apologize if it doesn't. This is a link for our friend Hawk076, who puts in the big work all the time, day after day after day. If you don't see him filming, rest assured that he is still putting in the reps. ACC says, yes, she does. The taxes are not that high. She's expanding to a second location. That's awesome. Especially, I saw in your channel description, she's 77. And it's just so great to hear that she has that energy to keep going and going and going, expanding her business. She says it's not the taxes that hurt her, it's the insurance cost. Hawk says, I'm good. Getting my mind right. Too much going on. Yeah, that happens sometimes. I'm sure you're going to get it right, though. You're one focused guy, that's for sure. Hawk says, good looking out. Thank you, appreciate that. ACC says she won't stop. She's in Baker since she was 30 years old. Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, and I saw again in the description that you work for, you work with your mom in the bakery. Yep, so I see Hulk put in his reps yesterday, 100 morning push-ups for Tuesday. ACC says, yes, and got a second job. What are you doing on your second job? In the, through the late 90s and the early to mid 2000s, I was a middle level management in retail, and then low to middle, which I never really enjoyed. I didn't mind retail so much as the management I didn't enjoy. And then I started my own personal training business that did fairly well for a fairly short period of time. ACNC is a florist delivery. Nice. Can't go wrong working with flowers in whatever capacity. Uh, and you get to see the joy on people's faces when they receive those flowers. Eric Point says, I'm just listening while I work. Hello, everyone. Hello, Eric. How are you? I saw Eric over on Jacob's live stream getting his reps in. And I believe he mentioned he was doing some reps along with Jacob for a while. You picked a tough one to follow along with. ACNC says, I use my second job to relax. I can understand that. And it's important that we get that time to relax. Lots of people think it as something we can do without. You know, I'll relax when I'm successful. I'll relax when I have the time. I relax whenever. It's always that when I, if I, whenever. And it doesn't work that way. Because if we don't find some way to relax, if we keep that undercurrent of tension and the low-level stress that eats away at us every day, whether we realize it or not, then there's not going to be a whenever. There's not going to be when I, because we won't make it that long. Stress is indeed the silent killer in so many ways. Let's see. ACC says, I've had flowers thrown at me many times. Many men think flowers will end argument, but the women don't like that. Yeah, the best way to end an argument, simply say I'm sorry. Simply say I'm sorry, and perhaps I didn't understand. I would like to understand. I didn't know. I was wrong. Nothing replaces words. Words with flowers are nice. Words with an understanding mind, even better. We seem to skip that understanding mind part, where we think words alone might fix something, or that flowers alone might fix something. This is why the advice in A Course in Miracles says you can be right or you can be kind. If you go through life with that assurity, I'm always right, that means you're going around and you're making other people wrong, even if only in your mind. And there's that energy that comes with that. Eric Point says, yes, I did reps with the Burpee Reaper also. Awesome. Was that with, did you do the 8-count bodybuilders? ACC says, but to do that to a person with flowers, not sent by delivery. Yeah. Definitely an overreaction. I've seen people take things out on all kinds of people in the service industry, from cashiers to waiters and waitresses, bank tellers who are just giving you a number. They're not the ones who, charge you the overdraft. They're not the ones who overspent. They're just the ones pushing that piece of paper over towards you. This, in both yoga and A Course in Miracles, they talk about projections, that we are projecting that anger. We are projecting, it all stems down from our lack of connection, or the lack of realizing our connection. And we project that outwards to the world, so everything is viewed as separate, including ourselves. We are separate from our essential self. And if everything is separate, then everything is a potential enemy. Everything is a potential target. And we can justify our grievances. And man, do we have grievances. And that's the whole art of forgiveness, is forgiving ourselves. We don't forgive other people. We never forgive other people. That's beyond our capacity. and no one else needs it. What we do is we forgive our misconception. We forgive how we are perceiving the world. And as we change how we perceive the world itself changes. Everything is recognized in love. So anything someone brings to you is an opportunity to forgive, not them, but our perception of the world. And in that way, we grow more and more peaceful. Each and every time we extend that forgiveness. ACC says, I worked as a cashier for a while. Talk about rude customers. Yeah, I've been there. Even in management, I would still do everything. Management and retail, you still do everything. You work the register when you have to, especially where I was. It was a vitamin supplement industry. Um, and I enjoyed working with customers for the most part. I had a good reputation. I worked at several places, actually, and each place would hire me back with more money. And I sort of bopped around a couple of different places for a number of years. And I kept being threatened with given a promotion into district manager, regional manager. And I thought, man, I got to get out of this. I do not want to get sucked into that. Let's see. Eric Point says, yes, 8 count, but Lewis counted for me. Awesome. Have you checked out any of the Iron Wolf's videos, Eric LaPointe? That's his favorite burpee. So that's the psychology of both yoga, Buddhism, as well as Course in Miracles, that everyone is acting their life under the misperception of their grievances. And yoga, I mentioned before, it's the 5 afflictions, the kleshas, which are our attachments, our aversions, our fear of death, our belief that we are a small separate self. We believe that we're the ego, and ignorance of all of those things. Ignorance doesn't mean being stupid. It has no implication on intelligence whatsoever. It means that we are unaware that we are being pushed and pulled by attractions and aversions and fear. Let's see. Let me bring something up for our friend Eric LaPointe. So if someone's acting out of ignorance, do you hold a do you feel justified in being unforgiving? Do you feel justified in hating or anything that you do? It's easy to forgive when you know, oh, you just didn't know. No one knows. Everyone is acting out of ignorance. Everyone gets sucked back into those afflictions. Everyone feels perfectly at home in their dislike, everyone in their grievances. Eric, let me know if that link works. That's the Iron Wolf. And man, he is one serious guy. ACC says, sometimes I say there's something in their lives that they hate. Yes. That's because of, again, all of those things that occur in the mind. If you go through life always being, always wanting, always having to get this, and then once you get it, you got to move on to something else and something else and something else. So you're guided by those aversions and our attachments. And of course, we live in a world where everything is changing. Nothing is ever the same. So you're always in this point of insecurity, So who wouldn't be in a bad mood if they're constantly and continuously insecure? Our friend Wolf is here. Says, hi, Yogi and everyone. Just thought I'd stop by while having lunch. Hope you're enjoying lunch, my friend. How's everything there? ACC says, I can't hold grudges unless someone is lying about a good person. Then I go on attack and can't stop. ACC says, hi, Wolf. How's Barb? The thing is, but when you realize that even the people who lie about a good person are acting out of ignorance, then it doesn't mean you condone what is happening, but you let go of your own grievance towards them. You let hold of the grudges against them, and it always comes back to us. It's never about the other person. It's always about us. If we're perceiving what's going on, that means we're a participant, however begrudgingly we are. So in order for a situation to change, one person has to change, and you can never ever count on that one person changing. It's always got to be us. Does it mean that person is going to start doing what they're doing? No, but we can't. You can never attack anyone enough to make them see that they're wrong. They just dig in, and it gets worse, because then you get to that point where they're like, well, I'm going to show you. I know I'm right, and I'm going to show you how right I am by making you even more wrong. And it escalates, and you never reach a state of peace. A lot of people say, well, that type of peacefulness is naive, can't be achieved, but I know for certainty that it can be achieved, and it always begins with me. It's all about letting go, letting go, letting go. Let's see. ACC says, hi, Wolf, how's Barb? She's still in the hospital, but doing well. I'm glad she's doing well. Please send her our love. 100% from all of us. ACC says, being part Irish and how my dad taught me, I'm just like him, but his Irish temper was always out of control, and I am like him. Only on the surface. Beneath it all, and this is why yoga is the path Buddhism as well, of potentiality. We sink below the surface. We see that anger and temper are just things occurring in our wide open nature. They don't really affect us, not the true us, not the essential us. The mistake is when we believe that we are these things. We believe that we are anger. We believe that I have this temper. We believe that I have an addiction. We believe that I have this and that and that. When in truth, reality, deeper than it all, we're none of those things. We are the space in which allows all those things to happen. Let's see. AC&C says, I don't know how to control the projections of others when they are accused by liars. You can't. You can never control the projection of others. The only way to do it, according to Ramana Maharshi, when he was asked, how do we deal with others? How do we treat others? And he said, there are no others, which is why we deal with what we can deal with. We deal with our own projections. We deal with our own grievances. If we have a grievance against someone who's bringing you grievances, we're just doubling down on what's happening. We always come back to us. And it's never about control. It's about surrendering. Surrendering is the opposite of control. You can't control your anger. As you just said, your father's anger was always out of control. And you feel that you inherited it. So your own anger is always going to be almost out of control or occasionally out of control. So why attempt to control what you can't control? Let it go. Surrender. Realize that you are not the anger. You are the expression of anger in a moment. And when that moment's over, it's gone. That's the nature of forgiveness. You're not forgiving someone else. You're not even forgiving yourself. You're forgiving the moment, and that moment's gone. Squirrel Sniper says, greeting beautiful souls from across the pond. but under the same skies. Hello, my friend. How you doing, Squirrel Sniper? ACC says, well, very true. If I could only follow what you just said. If I could only follow what I just said too. Um, but I get to practice it. I get to practice it every day. Sometimes I get some serious help in live streams where people come in and they attack. Perfect practice. And I can instantly forgive, not the other person, not even myself. I forgive the situation. If I had known better, I wouldn't have gotten dragged in. If they had known better, they wouldn't have brought it here. But no one knew better, and the situation happened. When I forgive it, I realize those are key words. The situation happened. What's going on right now? In this moment, I can choose peace instead of this. In this moment, I can choose kindness instead of this. Given a choice of being kind or being right, always choose being kind. Because it never changes the fact if you're right or if you're wrong, but you always feel better when you're kind. Reaper is here with a new title, Mr. 8-Count Bodybuilder to his name. Mr. 6-Count to his name. Mr. Perfect Rep to his name. Mr. Can't Stop Me to his name. The champ, the Burpee Reaper, it is what it is, Lewis himself. My favorite introduction. Those are my favorite introductions. Although Leo's catching up and Jacob's catching up. Everyone. I love giving those introductions to people. Squirrel Sniper said, the day of digging roots took a toll. Slight muscle pull. I'm sorry to hear that. Back area, shoulder. Burpee Reaper was dealing with an issue as well. Squirrel Sniper says, I'm still waiting to get my burpees in. They can wait for another 24 hours. Yeah, they can always wait. Always deal with the issue at hand. ACNC says, we're just humans. At times, Mom calls me my father's name. We are just human. Remember what Shakespeare said. To err is human. To forgive is divine. And that's so true. Because we are human, but we're also divine. So when we are acting with forgiveness, we're acting on our divine nature. When we don't forgive, we're acting from our human nature. Why just be one when we are literally both at the same time? We were created from dust and clay, but we were breathed into life by the breath of God. The breath of God is always moving through us. The breath of God is forgiveness. So we just forgive and we forgive and we forgive all the time. It's my favorite practice. Mark Twain, a wonderful quote on forgiveness. Forgiveness is the fragrance released by the violet upon the heel that has crushed it. Squirrel Sniper says hi to ACC. Reaper says, appreciate that, Eric. You're the one putting in the reps. Let's see. ACC says, well, my lunch break has ended. Thank you, everyone, for the advice. I will try to put it in good use. We just keep living our life through the grace of surrender and forgiveness. And that equals kindness. Squirrel Sniper says, lower back. Yeah, man, I've been there. I'm still recovering from a lower back issue that occurred back in October. It's about 85% better, a few little setbacks here and there, but getting back to ground zero. Wolf says, anger is never inherent. It is rather a learned thing, like intolerance. When I allow others to interfere with my own calmness, I'm always more upset with the fact that I allowed it. Absolutely. And then we turn that lens of forgiveness to ourselves, and we're right back to that state of calmness, which is ever present. We just realize that, well, that happened, but now I have this, which is calm. We are blessed with continuous presence, continuous present moments. It's always right now. What happened right now? Nothing. I'm at peace. Someone can come in here and say something, and I might get upset. I might get pissed off. I might even yell. And then if I say, well, what's happening right now? Nothing. I'm back at peace. I always have this moment, because that's all we have, ever. Let's see. Squirrel Sniper says, you say Shakespeare, some say Sir Francis Bacon, First Viscount St. Alban, and some say Ben Jonson, actually. Will the real Shakespeare please stand up? I bet you the Burpee Reaper didn't see that coming. He didn't see me paraphrasing Eminem. He didn't see me paraphrasing Eminem while referencing William Shakespeare. Hey, guys, you only get that on Just a Yogi doing burpees in his basement. You're not going to find that on any other live stream. That's why I plan on making it big in this business. They say this business will eat you up and spit you out. It's the opposite. They don't know who they're dealing with. Squirrel Sniper says, greetings to Wolf and Squirrel Sniper says, a combination indeed, Eric. Yeah, people make the case. You know, William Shakespeare was an actor. Some say, you know, he didn't show the genius that could have compiled all those great works. I don't know. Sir Francis Bacon was certainly a genius, that's for sure. And Ben Jonson had wrote some great stuff. But why would Ben Jonson not want to have credit along with the other stuff? Don't know. Let's see. Eric Point says, hello, Squirrel Sniper and Lewis. Can't see my phone right now. Wolf is here as well. ACC was here earlier, and she was on her lunch break. She had to go. I'll tell you what, ACC is a loyal and fierce friend. She will not, she will stand up for the people she cares about. She has shown that in pretty obvious ways. So Eric Point as well. Squirrel Sniper says, this is a picnic basket zone. It's the other yogis that can't resist. Exactly. I don't need no one else's picnic basket. It's probably got a roast beef sandwich in it. What would I do with a roast beef sandwich? I packed my own. I packed my own vegan. Let's see. Wolf says, myself, I'm very soft-spoken, but when I do raise my voice, I am always mad more that I had to than who made me do it. Similar, my friend. I'm pretty soft-spoken. Mocha has pointed out the very few times in almost 23 years when she's ever heard me raise my voice over something. I raised my voice once at my little corgi when she was a puppy because I got frightened that she might be too close to the road. I don't know why. I mean, I had the leash, but um, I don't. You worry about your puppies, and I raised my voice. She totally unexpected. She never got close to the road again. T says she's playing her drum, and that's awesome. It's very meditative about those drums in particular. Oh, I was going to look up Ben Johnson. Nope, I'm sorry. I was going to look up Francis Bacon. Greg is here. Greg, how are you? I was thinking about you today, Greg. I was wondering if you were on Facebook or not. Wolf has a good point. Puppies and dogs in general, we become very protective of. Yes, we do. And especially, from my own foolishness. If I was foolish enough to have her too close to the road, of course, it's not her fault. It was my fault. So I was really yelling more at myself. Again, projection. Um, but it ended up with a good result because I'd much rather keep her away from the road. Says here the Shakespearean authorship, thesis, which first proposed in the mid-19th century, contends that Bacon wrote at least some, and possibly all of the plays conventionally attributed to William Shakespeare. We may never know. Regardless, the works of Shakespeare, no matter who wrote them, are absolutely beautiful, and there was some divine wisdom in Shakespeare. Greg Dayton says, hello, host. I'm alive, barely. Sometimes just being alive is enough. Sorry, not on Facebook. Not a problem. Let's see. Wolf says, especially when they are the only children we have. Exactly. Sniper says, Sir Francis Bacon, another M5. Is that M5 or is that M15? Created by Dr. John D. I hadn't heard that. Our friend Joe Delaney is here. Guys, don't forget, Joe Delaney is being interviewed Sunday. I got it up on my community page. Let's go back to the community page. And if possible, I'll drop a link here so that we can all remember it. So, just give me 1 second, guys. There we go. Let me know if this works. I suspect it might work for some people and it might not work for others. And happy Thursday to you, Joe. Sorry, I didn't give you a proper greeting. I saw you and I said hi, and then I went immediately to your event this Sunday because that's big news. I somehow think, I don't know why, I just get the feeling this is an important step in the advancement of Joe Delaney as a healer. I'm not going to say Joe Delaney as a motivator, Joe Delaney as a fitness advocate, Joe Delaney as a example, Joe Delaney as a healer, because a healer includes all of that. Meaning that if someone needs motivation, then a healer knows that and gives motivation. If a healer needs to address this, that's what they address. It's their energy. Joe Delaney is a healer. She took that healing journey with herself in a very intuitive fashion that a lot of people miss. And now she's putting it out in the world. And Master Sergeant retired. Milka is here. You're terrifying when you raise your voice. It's been well over a decade, and it's still scary, even just in memory. Well, that's because when I asked for a turkey pot pie, or was it a chicken pot pie? I don't remember. If anyone here is an 80s teen and you remember The Breakfast Club, and who was it? I forget the guy's name. Jed Nelson was the actor. He was acting out the scene with his father, and his father said, "Fix me a chicken pot pie." My anger, I don't really have an anger issue, but when I raise my voice, it's seldom ever directed towards. It's just projected upwards. Let's see. Milka says, and hello, everyone. Greg says, at least people here are kind. I'm tired of some chats that treat me like shit. Nope, that'll never happen here. And if it does, we will find a way to navigate through it. Meaning no one here would do it. But if someone came in and started doing it, we would adjust. We'd find a way to work our way through it. Let's see. Wolf says, Greg, as good as 71 gets, for me at least. I believe Greg said he is 70. Or was it 69 going on 70? So we're going past some of these highs as much as I like them. Just helps me stay, keeps me from falling too far behind, which we've all seen. Joe says, I'm trying to not get nervous. Thank you. You know what? Don't be afraid to be nervous. Nervous is just a thing happening. And it shows your sincerity. It shows your energy. It's just nervousness, excess energy. Express it. Be completely Joe Delaney, nervousness and all. And when you allow yourself to be nervous, you no longer have anything to worry about, because nervousness is part of the game. Also, trust in your story. Trust in the story that only Joe Delaney can tell. No one else, nothing else in existence, nothing else in the entire universe can tell the Joe Delaney story. Only you. Trust that story. Everything's going to be cool. Also, people tuning in are tuning in because they absolutely love you. So every single eye focused on Joe is all done out of love. And man, are they going to be blown away when they hear you tell their story. It's one thing reading it in your description. It's going to be a whole other thing when you sit down and they ask you, these pointed questions about your journey, and it all unfolds. Runner Boy is here. Let's see. Just says, thank you, but it's not good. Sorry. Sorry about that, my friend. Which is a good point. You are now surrounded by friends. Mocha says, sorry, you feel bad, Greg? Joe Delaney sends hugs, virtual hugs. Runner Boy has good news. His sandbag has arrived. Did he get a sandbag with handles? Or is it the old-fashioned sandbag? I had one of the old-fashioned ones. I always wanted to get one with handles. Sandbag training is completely awesome. I used to do strongman workouts outside of my house, and yes, my neighbors think and thought that I was absolutely weird. And we would, bear hug and walk, shoulder, and then walk, all kinds of stuff. Zercher squats. Greg says, thank you, Mocha. Just got myself in a very bad hole right now. Well, if there's anything that we can do to help, let us know. Runner Boy says, I was using my pull-up rings today on live, and they felt really nice. Yep, I had it up and running, but I was out for my walk, so I'll be checking it out later. Looking forward to seeing that. What do you do? Pull-ups or dips, or pull-ups and dips, or rows, or all of the above? Let's see. Wolf says, Joe, just remember you are there to enhance the company you are applying to. They should not hire you. It's their loss, not yours. The correct one will see your value. Oops, I should have explained it in more detail, Wolf. Joe is being interviewed about her healing journey, her weight loss journey, her life story. So it's actually for a YouTube podcast channel. Oh, yep, there's a link if anyone can open it right up above. Let me post it again because we can never have it too many times. Hopefully it works. Greg says, what kind of weird is that? You people don't know me personally, yet you seem to care. Oh, we certainly do care. It's because, empathy. We've all been in, I don't know what particular incident or incidents might be occurring in your life right now, but I've had my incidents that have brought me low. I've suffered with the best of all the sufferers. I've had intense grief. I've suffered a near lifetime of low-level depression. I've had anxiety. I've had panic attacks. We've been there. Life. If life doesn't break you open and make you empathetic, you're not truly, truly living. You're somehow sheltering yourself. Our friend Goldie is here. Hi there, lovely people. Hi there, lovely Goldie. Are we working today? T says, sorry, just listening in, not watching the chat. Either way, we appreciate you being here, T. Runner Boy says, no handle, strongman style, 60 kilogram. Just need to get this down now. Make sure you put it in smaller bags. Don't fill the whole thing up with sand, or have a liner bag because it will leak. Maybe it already came with a liner bag. Goldie's in her last 15 minutes at work. Well, I'm glad you got to spend it with us. Wolf, once again, dropping some wisdom. Says, Greg, only true kindness is shared openly. Very true, my friend. Joe Delaney says, Runner Boy, you make ring pull-ups look effortlessly done. Ugh. Runner Boy is a beast. I still think he might need to update his channel. Lifter Boy. All-round athlete boy. Strong boy. He says, Goldie finishing an hour earlier. Yeah, that's true. Normally, we hit those 2-hour mark. That might mean that I need to end my live stream early. Keep on track. Greg says, hello, Goldie. You got your hands full with me and my shitty mood. Or, Greg, your shitty mood has its handful dealing with people who care about you. Runner Boy says, pull-ups, just getting used to them. I always enjoyed ring pull-ups. I always enjoyed ring dips. Rings are such a versatile tool. Wolf says, okay, cool. Still. Yep, it's going to be epic. Looking forward to it. Our friend Tokyo here. Tokyo Gold King 42L. Hello, my friend. Tokyo is a stellar gamer with an awesome channel. So, I'm dropping links. I got to be honest. I have no idea if the links work. As I said, they might work for some. I know it's different. Like, if you drop desktop link, then only people on desktops can open it. But maybe some of you guys are on a desktop. This is Tokyo's link. How you doing, my friend? Greg Dayton says, hey, Moonwolf, you are okay with me. Wolf has some great wisdom that he drops. And he's always been a kind and steady presence here. Always appreciated. Tokyo said, smash the like and shared big bro. I appreciate that. Thank you. So definitely go support Tokyo Gold King, as well as Smitty, his partner in Gamer Crime. Those guys are intense. But you know what? And it really is intense gaming. They never, ever fail to say hello when I pop in. And the intense activity that they're doing, there's a pause, there's a beat, and they say, hey, Yogi. So big shout out to them. That's what makes their channel so great for me is, you know, I feel like I'm hanging out with friends, which I am. And our friend Jacob Colby. Did you guys check out Jacob today? I know that Burpee Reaper was there. I know Eric Lapointe was there. I know Eric Lapointe got some reps in early with Jacob. Man, Eric Lapointe, reps with Jacob, reps with Burpee Reaper. Were you asking for extra punishment today? Did you think when you woke up, what's the best way to physically and mentally punish myself? Because you couldn't have planned it any better if that was the goal. As I mentioned on his live stream, Jacob is one intense individual. So Jacob says, greeting, blessings to you all, big salute. Hit the like button for our great friend, Mr. Yogi. Thank you all for all you do, brother. Big salute to you, Mr. Yogi. Thank you, Jacob. And big salute to you, my friend. Definitely a big salute because, as I mentioned, you're inspiring with what you do. Greg says, Goldie is the one who hooked me up with the chat. Well, I'm glad she did. Goldie is wonderful for connections. We have Goldie to thank for our good friend Bumblebee T. Which is a friendship that I hold as a blessing, as I do all of you. So I'm very appreciative when I get to make those great, great connections with people. Runner Boy says, I'm going to use a heavy-duty bag on the inside, as well as just in case. Zip-tied the bag, but it's very good looking. Awesome. Can't wait to see some of the workouts that you do. Goldie says, no, it's my 10-hour shift. An easy day for Goldie is a 10-hour shift. Imagine that. Ami is here. Ami, my friend, how are you? And our friend Muhammad is here. Muhammad, how are things in Turkey? How are the wife and the kids, my friend? Muhammad says, peace for all. Peace to you. Hawk says he's getting ready to start work. I'll try to catch the next one. Thanks, Hawk. I appreciate you being here. Hawk's link is way at the top of the conversation. You guys can definitely, well, hold on, because I still got him up. Because if we're talking about inspiration, look no further. Muhammad says, hello, Yogi. Hello, my friend. Runner Boy says his longest shift is 9 hours. Wow. Two-hour YouTube shifts for me. That's it. I put in some long shifts in my time, though. So I know how difficult it is, that's for sure. You know what? I've done long shifts in retail and I've done long shifts in physical labor. And I would much rather do a long shift in physical labor than retail. Retail, or in the service industry, it drains you emotionally as well as physically. I'd rather come home from work physically tired from a hard day's work than that feeling like I'm drained from dealing with demands of, being in the service industry. So as we're handing out salutes, a big salute to our friend Goldie for what she does and why she works those long hours, because it's an act of love. Let's see. Greg says, hey, Eric, the host, do you have any favorite sport teams? Not currently. I have favorite sport teams in history. I love the Green Bay Packers from the early to the mid 60s. I love the Pittsburgh Steelers through the 1970s. I love the 1971 Miami Dolphins. San Francisco in the early 80s. I got to admit it, I might make some enemies here. I love New England in the early 2000s. I'm a Brady fan. I grew up, I was born in Pittsburgh. I grew up outside of Baltimore, in the middle of Baltimore, D.C. area. Very beautiful area, by the way. So I grew up loving the Baltimore Orioles. I mentioned before, I don't watch baseball. I never really have, but I absolutely love baseball because it is the sound of my youth. It's the sound of summer. It's the sound of early fall. There's a game always playing somewhere. There's a special feel to baseball. Absolutely love it. College football, Notre Dame, because of Rocky Bleier. And Rudy, of course. You got to love Rudy. Greg says, your English is very good, Muhammad. Eric Point says, hello, everyone that came in. Vernon Boy says, Joe, just seen your comment on my live. Joe is a great support. She's a great friend. Muhammad says, thank you, Yogi. I'm great. Thank God my family is doing good. And hello from my family. You and your friend Yogi and all friends. Thank you for that, Muhammad. Muhammad is in his place. He's with his family, surrounded by love, given love. Runner Boy says retail also involves repeated heavy lifting. Yeah, it does. Bending over, it's not as easy as people want it out to be. This is true. I agree. Especially on those days, you know, when you get the big orders in. Our friend Kay is here. Kay, how are you? Babushka is here. Red Sox forever. Red Sox forever. Oh, so I was talking about being in Baltimore. So yeah, Baltimore Orioles, Baltimore Colts. Never, never Baltimore Ravens. I remember how heartbroken the community was when the Colts were packed up in the middle of the night. I believe it was late winter, and there was a little bit of snow falling, and the news completely silent, watching the trucks drive away. And then, of course, we got the Cleveland Browns, you know, and we're celebrating. So, yeah, Baltimore Colts. Not the Indianapolis Colts, nothing against them. Baltimore Colts. Johnny Unitas. Basketball. Boston Celtics. Although, as been pointed out, it should be Boston Celtics. Welcome, Babushka, by the way. So here I was thinking that I was really far behind, and I'm not. Okay, Renee says, hey, Yogi in chat, working and watching and listening. Appreciate you being here. I had Kay up that I was listening to when I was doing my warm-up, getting motivated for my burpees. Kay is great for providing that motivation. Puts the work in every day. The only thing better than watching Kay do a bike ride or one of her workouts is listening to Kay talk about her garden. Hey, Kay, Eric Lapointe had some bad news about his garden. I don't know if he told you. 2 rows were eaten by rabbits. Kay says, so I'll make sure to hit that like button for our brother Yogi. Thank you for that. And I would appreciate that. Let's see. Did I miss? I saw that Jacob asked what burpee variations Eric Lapointe did. I'm looking to see if he replied. There it is. Did the 8 counts, uh, 3 pumps, and then 2 pump Navy SEALs. It's a lot of work. So, hey, looking over the chat. Oh, I'm sorry. Our good friend Destiny Forever Walks, PhD, is here. Hello again, Eric. McCarty spoke to a while. How are you? Happy Thursday, my friend. Happy Thursday to you, Destiny. Appreciate you being here, as always. Kay says Eric has great things over on his farm. He does. Eric Lapointe, burpee practitioner, gardener, Christmas tree grower, philosopher, woodchuck filmer, nature filmer extraordinaire. You get it all. You get it all from Eric Lapointe. As well, you know, I think Eric rivals any other supporter out there. He's up there. He's up there with Goldie. He's up there with Destiny. You're going to find him all over the YouTube community, from burpees to gardening, any live stream, you know, that he's made a connection to, he is there supporting. It's the same with Goldie. It is the same with Destiny. That's the way to do it, guys. I've been asked more than a few times how to grow your channel. Be of service. Be of support. Give more than you ask for. If you give more than you ask for, then the world expands. You find that there is no lack. As long as you're giving, there can never ever be lack. If you're an endless point of giving, the universe is endless in its supply. It keeps giving you more to give. Also, who's to say what you can do on YouTube? Who's to say how big your channel can be? Who's to say how much of an income you might be able to earn? Find out. Find out for yourself. Don't listen to anyone else. Each and every single one of you has your own unique story to tell. No one else can ever tell it. That's what we were talking about with Joe Delaney and why. Like I said, this her being interviewed is so huge, because it just seems like that that little wedge that you step in, and all of a sudden you realize that that wedge is the entirety of the hole opening up there for you. You get to expand in as much room as you're given. And guess what? You're given a universe to expand within. Doesn't mean that, you know, when I say expand, that you got to keep striving for more subscribers. You got to keep striving for higher numbers. Let all of that go. I thought about giving a little talk about that later. How in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna that you are entitled to your efforts. You're entitled to the action. You're never entitled to the fruit of your actions, because we simply don't know. We don't know what anyone else is ever going to do. What we're in control of is what we do every day, and we show up and we give and we give and we give. If you do that, you're on point. Everything works out exactly the way it's supposed to work out. So, Babushka says, oh no, Eric Point. We use uh, Malagante more Organte. Either way, I'm saying it wrong. Um, at my job to keep deer and rabbits away. Good suggestion. Destiny says, please don't forget to smash the like button and share out the host's amazing channel. Thank you for that, and thanks for coming. Much appreciated. Muhammad says, that's what's going with Eric. He say about pump, something like that. Talking about his workouts, his burpee workout, and a pump is a push-up or a press-up, as some people say. Destiny says, how's things going for today? Eric Lapointe. Eric Lapointe was doing workouts with Burpee Reaper and doing workouts with Jacob. Again, it's like he woke up in the morning and said, what's the easiest way to physically punish myself? And then go and put a 10-hour day worth of work in. Greg says, hey, Muhammad, you're a good, brave man. Very nice to meet you. That's a great welcome from our friend Greg. And Muhammad says, you're very welcome, Greg Dayton, and thank you so much. So, let's see. Has anyone read the book, The Alchemist? One second, guys. There we go. I got the quote from the Breakfast Club from Mocha. I'm not going to read it because it is definitely Google or YouTube it. So, all right. The Alchemist. Has anyone read the book The Alchemist? I highly recommend it. I recommend it just for this quote alone. And when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. All the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. So, for guys who are doing something here on YouTube or something else creative, what do you want? And surrender it to divine order. In Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, he talks about Patanjali, how dormant forces come alive when we endeavor to do something inspired. Dormant forces, meaning the universe itself. Everything aligns. But it's got to be a perfect desire. And by perfect desire, it doesn't mean that things don't go wrong. It means that it is aligned with your true essence, your beingness. If you're aligned with the beingness, then things that seem to go wrong are part of that divine order, meaning we don't know how it's going to turn out. Give me 1 second, guys, and then I'll catch up again. It's a short read. Many of you could probably read it in a day. Not Patanjali. That is a lifetime worth of studying the Yoga Sutras. So I tried to post a link for it, and it's too big. Sorry about that. But if you go to Amazon, you look up, or go to your local bookstore, even better, especially if it's a small bookstore. Sorry, guys. There we go. Let me catch up. Mocha says, yes, it's a turkey pot pie. Yeah, I kept thinking it was either chicken pot pie or turkey pot pie. It's been, I don't think I've actually watched The Breakfast Club since I saw it in the movie theater. Muhammad says, we'll use a mud pump when I'm drilling the oil well. Interesting. Says it's very hard work, I bet. Mocha says, I've read it. Yep, I remember you reading it. Wolf says, Muhammad, our work on the oil wells is hard, even being a cook, especially on offshore. Yeah, I bet. Mocha says hi to Muhammad and Dr. Destiny. Muhammad says Wolf that is a driller, man, in the oil well company north of Iraq. Be safe when you're working, my friend. Our friend William Downey is here. William says, hey, Yogi, hope all is well in your world. It is. Thank you, Greg. And I hope the same with you. How are you doing today? So this is something that I can post. And we'll see if it works. Again, it works for some, doesn't work for everyone. This is our friend William Downey's channel. William's a lot of fun to hang out with. Old school lifting, old school bodybuilding style workouts, body composition style workouts. Getting in the reps, great conversation, and then settles down for a good meal and even more conversation. Definitely go hang out with William Downey. Let's see. William is well on his way to his stated goal of 500 subscribers, 347. No time at all. I'm going to post this link one more time. This is this Sunday, guys. Joe Delaney. Joe Delaney stepping into her future. I hope you guys tune in and support. Not just for the support, that's big though, because there's just so much to learn. Eric Point says, thanks for all the kind things everyone's been saying about me. Well deserved, Eric. Our friend Dottie's here. Good evening, my friends. Dottie, how are you? Well, we're visiting channels. Let's step on over. Dottie Dora, the UK Explorer. 170 subscribers. If people are not subscribed to Dottie, I can honestly say you're missing out. Dottie is one of a kind. She puts out beautiful nature videos, and right now she's on a journey with her van, turning it into a camper van for a big future, not too far away, excursion. that she's putting together with her own hands. Man, does it get any better than that? Putting in the work for your own adventure. And then taking you, all of us, on the journey with her. And the journey starts with the little details that she does on her van. And those little things add up. And it's great seeing how everything's taken shape. You sort of lose track of that when you see like just one aspect at a time. But then you start seeing how it all flows together. Absolutely amazing. Let's see. Jacob says, you deserve it, Brother Eric LaPointe. I love you as a brother. Jacob has a way of summing things up sincerely and passionately. Jacob's a good man. Najit, my friend, how are you? It's been a few days since you've been around. Appreciate you stopping back. Muhammad says, offshore, oh my God, it's a very dangerous job. Wolf says, blessings to everyone. Try to be back in the next live. Thank you, Wolf. I appreciate that. Have a good day. Please send Barb our love. Please send Barb my love. Destiny says, thanks everyone for joining. Just a Yogi doing burpees live today. Your presence here and support is very much appreciated by Yogi. Blessings and love to you all. Thank you for that, Destiny. And truly, truly, it's appreciated. I honestly can't thank each and every one of you. If I say community, it's not enough. Because yes, it's a community, and community is made up of individuals, but I have a hard time seeing you guys as just community. I see you all as individual people that have brought so much into my life. Fatty says, it's very hard work, Eric. I can see, especially now, working in the heat. It's all coming together so well. Man, I can hardly wait when it's all these little pieces, and then you see the big revelation. And of course, guys, that's the story of our lives. Everything appears to be done in little pieces, divided by time. But as we know from great spiritual masters, as we know from quantum physics, there's no such thing as time. It's all happening at once. Whatever's going to happen is already happening right now. We're just right outside of our awareness. But imagine if we had the faith. Reminds me of Richard Bach. If you guys read Richard Bach, Illusions, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, wonderful author. Absolutely love Richard Bach. He has a great quote from Illusions. In the end, everything's going to be okay. And if it's not okay, then it's not the end. If you absolutely knew for certain that you could not fail, what would you do? And of course, people might say, well, I didn't get this, so that's a failure. Is it? Did it lead you in another direction? Is life still ongoing? Is it still a great adventure? Are you still continuously surprised at the new opportunities that every single day brings you? This is why I love doing nature shorts. Every single day, nature gives me something different. And I don't get to judge. I don't get to judge the loveliness of a robin as being lesser than the sighting of a fox. Both are amazing gifts from nature. I'd go so far as to say that an imaginary groundhog, an imaginary woodchuck that no one else can see, is just as wonderful as an actual woodchuck that people can see. That comment might get me in some trouble. So, Let's see. Dottie says, thanks, Bumble. It's an old ambulance. Joe Delaney says, I have to believe that what some people might consider a failure is something I learned from. Absolutely true. And Anthony Robbins, actually, I think I can see it, Eric. Your tip of looking down, this is going to sound horrible. Your tip on looking down the crack. I'm really going to get myself in trouble. Paid off a lot. I could see, and saying that I could see the nose, I could see the outline. But you know what? I'm only going to admit that I can see it once, and then I'm going to keep up the imaginary. Because you know what? I absolutely love the fact that through the gift of imagination, Eric Lapointe gets to see an imaginary woodchuck. You've heard me talk about the movie Harvey, Jimmy Stewart, and his 6-foot tall imaginary rabbit, who turns out wasn't imaginary at all. It was a puka, a shapeshifter, someone who came into Jimmy Stewart's life to help him be re-enchanted with the magic of the world. And the movie Harvey re-enchanted me with the magic of the world, and Eric Lapointe's imaginary woodchuck that isn't really imaginary, truly does exist, as all magic does, re-enchants me with the magic of the world. So it's a gift. Anyway, Joe Delaney. And we're talking about failures. Anthony Robbins, who I'm not a huge fan of. At a certain point, you start putting self-improvement aside because you start realizing the fallacy of a self. Self is not a set thing. It's actually not something that can be improved. Not to mention, it also gets us in a lot of trouble. But selflessness, we can say selflessness is soul. I'm not saying the soul, soul itself. And how do you improve soul? You don't. You realize it. So all true self-improvement should be seeing through the self to the ever-present reality of isness, of beingness, of suchness, of love. Absolute reality equals love. And when you see absolutely reality, when you see love, you realize there's no mistakes in love. Anyway, that was a long discourse away from Anthony Robbins. One of the things that he liked, one of the things that he said that I liked is there's no such thing as results because you always get feedback. Or I'm sorry, there's no such thing as failure because you always get results. You always get feedback. And what you do with that feedback is entirely up to you now. So yeah, you're certainly free to call it a failure, but then that's what you have. Or you can take those results and you pivot. You head in a different direction, or you head in the same direction with a little more wisdom than you had previously. Joe says, so I don't fail, I learn. Absolutely, my friend. And you are a testament to that. Your life is a testament. I'm always reminded, and Joe reminds me of this. If our friend Nightwatch was here, he would correct me in a minute for me mispronouncing the name. Gandhi. When he was released from one of his prison stays, being released for because he was fasting, protest fasting, meaning eating absolute nothing, taking no water, fasting to the point where he was on deathbed, where they were forced to let him out. And as he was being driven away, he was asked, do you have a message for the people who are following along? And he smiled and said, my life is my message. Joe Delaney, her life is her message. And it's on point. How can there be a failure when your life is your message? Because she's showing, as she said, she's learning. Dottie says, be back later, guys. Need some food. Enjoy your meal, my friend. So, guys, I apologize for the, what's the right word that I'm looking for? When I wander. When we head in a totally different direction. Tangent? Yeah, I went off on a tangent. Goldie says, waiting for the tram to take me home. Well, I'm glad we could be there with you for your last part of your workday, my friend. I hope all is going well. Hey, Goldie, how are the exams going? So I don't remember if I posted this. But this is Donnie's link. So we'll probably wrap things up in just a few minutes. Trying to do some shorter, not always shooting for those 2-hour sessions. I don't want to exhaust you guys. I appreciate you being here. I realize that a little bit of yogi can go a long ways. Goldie says, today she had her last spoken exam. Awesome. Now, how soon? Written one started on the 1st, not too far away. June has 30 or 31 days. I believe 30. By the way, guys, happy solstice. This is the most amount of light that we will receive the entire year. First day of summer. Enjoy that light. It's a gift. Goldie says, you're going now when I can finally chat. Not quite yet. We'll talk for a bit. I'm going to step away from the computer for just a minute. I'm going to drink a little bit of water, and I'm going to use the restroom. I guess in my house, I don't need to call it a restroom. But I'll be right back. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I don't like giving dead airtime. Let's see. Muhammad says, I'm trying to understand any topic and share with you my best friend Yogi. Please bear with me a little. All the patience in the world, my friend. Feel free to ask any questions. I'm happy to explain the best I can any topic that we've been talking about. Jacob says, your live streams never gets old, brother. Mr. Yogi, thank you for having me on here. It's an honor to be here and support you. Thank you for that, Jacob. Man, hearing words like that really mean a lot. You know, it helps me realize that I'm on point myself, that I'm on track, that I'm doing what I feel called to do. And Destiny very, very kindly drops Muhammad's channel. Thank you for that, Destiny. Muhammad has become a very dear friend to all of us here. He's been nothing but a bright light of kindness and love every time he visits. When he originally told us he was apart from his family, he was in Iraq, they were in Turkey, and he talked about how much he missed them, but he was staying to care for his mom. Um, and then his recent opportunity to reconnect with his family. And it was just heartwarming to follow along with him. And Destiny drops Jacob's link. Thank you, Destiny. Uh, Jacob's an amazing young man. He's putting in some serious work, in some serious heat. I think, though, I'd love seeing Jacob in action, but about a month or so ago, he hurt his knee and he couldn't do burpees. He worked his way around it. Didn't complain, didn't say, I can't do the thing that I love to do. He just worked his way around it. He continued moving, continued inspiring the entire time. Never broke stride, not once. Let's see. Goldie says she was trying to make sure she said hi to everyone because she couldn't watch the chat. And but she's kind. Jacob says, thank you, Sister Destiny. Truly appreciate your love and support. And Destiny drops the link for our friend Goldie. Hey, Goldie. Goldie just broke over 200 subscribers. I know that's not um, a point with Goldie. She's never done anything for subscribers other than be Goldie, which means a loving presence. But well deserved because the few things that Goldie puts out are always, always lovely. She has a very calm presence just to hang out with, go for a walk. A beautiful voice just to listen to her. Goldie has a beautiful full moon here. Awesome. I get to see the full moon in the mornings. When I originally head out the door to go for a walk, the moon is still up. And Goldie drops the link for Eric LaPointe. Guys, you decide. Is a woodchuck there or not? I'm admitting. I believe I've seen the woodchuck. Eric LaPointe, 422 subscribers. 422 well-deserved subscribers and 62 videos up. It wasn't that long ago. Eric LaPointe was talking about that he would do his first burpees when he got 50 subscribers. Now he's got burpee videos. Now he's doing burpees with the best burpee people in the game, the best burpee practitioners in the game. And that is Jacob, and that is Lewis, the Burpee Reaper. Doesn't get any better than that. I call them both the champ because they're both the champ. And I have a host of nicknames for Burpee Slayer. Titles, all of which he deserves. Both of these guys are intense, and that intensity belays their kind-heartedness, that they're good, good people. Anyway, Eric LaPointe has stepped up and was doing reps with them. Eric LaPointe, would you have thought so a month ago? Would you have thought that you'd be doing reps with the legendary Burpee Reaper, with the legendary Jacob? Muhammad says, thank you so much, my friend and brother Yogi. You're welcome, my friend. Thank you for, taking us on that journey with you, reconnecting with your family. T says, sorry, Goldie, listening and playing drums. They're going to go out now. Temperature dropped. Congratulations. Enjoy the cooler weather. Happy that you're getting some air going outside, and you spent some quality time on the drums. Awesome. Goldie says, you're right. I never asked. Thank you. Um, Goldie, to the best of my recollection, the only time she's ever asked me something, it was in regard to helping someone else. That's how amazing Goldie is. Goldie, Destiny, they're in that upper echelons. Am I saying that right? And another sphere. And both of them would say no, but I can only speak how I feel. I'm speaking from the heart, and that's how I feel. Laradox is here. Laradox. Laradox was late. Nope, Laradox, you are always perfectly on time, my friend. Hey, thank you for the kind words on my writing on my community page. That's very much appreciated. Writing is what I do. That more than anything else. Writing is the thing that I love. So when I get a kind word, from you, that means a ton. Thank you, my friend. Destiny says, thanks to the most amazing people on these YouTube streets. They certainly are. You made Yogi's day much better, and you did. Just seeing you here, please like and share, and give Yogi a huge thumbprint on the like button. Smash it. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Laradox says, just watching his baby niece. Her name is that Sophie? Sophie. Nice. It's a pretty name. Let's see. Eric Point says, never even crossed my mind. Which makes your channel's growth even more amazing, Eric. Greg says, hello to Goldie, and hello to the B in the UK. Goldie says, Eric, the point, I still can't see my woodchuck. You know what? I don't want to make a demand. I don't want this to sound like I'm demanding something. I honestly feel that Eric Lapointe owes us a woodchuck. He has at least two other videos with woodchucks poking their nose out from under the barn. So all's forgiven. Plus, keep reminding yourself, Jimmy Stewart, Harvey, the Puka Rabbit. Has anyone else seen Harvey besides me? Came out, I believe, in the either late 40s or early 50s. Jacob says, it's an honor to do burpees with you, Brother Eric Lapointe. Destiny says, it's my pleasure, Goldie, to share out your channel. And you speak of the Reaper, here he is. Laradox says, I just want to know if I'm doing everything right in the chat. I mean, is there a reason that I'm not getting the wrench? It's a good point. And no, there isn't a reason to you personally other than right now, I just haven't been giving them out. I'm letting things settle. And then, so it's not that you have to do everything right. Hey, you don't have to do everything right. You just need to be Laradox. It's all anyone can ever ask from you. Be yourself, relax, share. And then when the time comes, when, the channel feels like it's settled down, then, hey, no one deserves a wrench more than you, my friend. So, yeah, it's not you personally. Um, a few other people have lost wrenches, and it wasn't personal at all. Um, it just sort of allows the channel to, um, again, settle a bit. For a little while, the energy was going in some directions that was unsettling for a lot of people. So we're letting, we're sort of getting back on track. We're getting back to the intent of the fellowship of beingness, which is simply to share, share, share. And you might say, share what? And the answer would be exactly. Share what? What do you have to share? Um, and whatever it is, we'll appreciate it. That's the nature of true sharing. Because it always, true sharing always comes from the heart. And Laradox, I don't always agree with you, but you always come from the heart. You always come from where your heart is. I can appreciate that. Oh, wait a minute. Goldie says, Eric McCarty, it's not entirely true. I was also bragging about my daughter's first sculpture. This is true, but you know what? If you see the sculpture and you hear the story behind it, then it is entirely worth bragging about. Um, and it's not really a self brag, it's bragging about the amazing talent, which is only one aspect. Because it really is amazing talent. But here's the most amazing thing is that it was a gift for a friend. Everything about it, from the presentation, the magical box that revealed the dragon, to the filming, everything was just such a beautiful gesture. When you're a mother, which I'm not, full disclosure, um, and you're witness to something like that, man, your heart's got to break open wide. I get, I'm an emotional guy, but I'm not an emotional guy where I walk around with my heart on my sleeve. But when I talk about certain things, I get emotional, and I have allergies. It's a combination. Zaradox says, and hello everyone. Zaradox says, apologize if I'm being a jerk or something. You're not being a jerk at all, my friend. Probably in a few weeks or so. Greg says, hey Goldie, don't think you want to know how I'm doing today. You don't need the burden. No burden at all, my friend. Destiny says, please don't forget to hit the like button and share out the host awesome channel. Leave a huge thumbprint on the like button. Thank you again. Lardox says, just got the angel to sleep. Nice. You're a good uncle. Coffee's here. Coffee, my friend. How are you? Lardox says, we need to protect the kids, guys. Can't argue that. Gordy says, that's sweet, Lardox. Well done. Very well done. Jacob says, thank you, Brother Eric Lapointe. But you're the man here. Big salute to you. Zaradox says, even though technically I'm a kid, but like almost an adult. Yep, 16. Hey, speaking of, um, I don't know why that made me think that uh, she hasn't been around for a few days, but our friend Flower, I think her birthday was either yesterday or today. So if Flower happened to come by and she was lurking, didn't say hi, although I don't imagine she loves saying hi. Some of the best hellos, some of the best hellos in the game. Um, but if she does cruise by, happy birthday. I know it's right around this time. Coffee says, Ich bin wieder here. Weeder, I know the name from weightlifting, but I don't know what it means. I've been something here. Darduck says he like 17-ish. 17-ish. Are you going to be a senior this year, Laradux? Greg says, sorry, Laradux, I don't have a channel. I'm just a chatter. A chatter and a supporter, my friend. You're a good supporter. And it's much appreciated. I much appreciate the support and the chatter as well. He says, Goldie, it's been hot and be hotter in a few days. Uh, I'm caught chatting here now. Much appreciate you being here, though. So, once again, I'm diving into the German. Coffee says, ich bin immer gut an wie geht's mit der, the last one. None of them are right, of course. I've been under. You saying you're not feeling well? Man, I might be way off on that. Destiny says, Greg Dayton has no content on his channel, but please make a visit and become a friend there. His channel. Thank you for that, Destiny, and what an excellent point. You don't need content to be a friend and make connections. Well, Goldie says, T, imagine the same heat, but in front of a wood pizza oven for 10 hours straight. Yeah, that's intense. T says, Goldie, I would melt and be a puddle on the floor with my overheating issues. Let's see. Greg says, love large cup of coffee with sugar and hazelnut creamer. Hazelnut sounds good. Man, I love my 1 cup of coffee. Goldie says, coffee, I'm happy that you are good. So, hey, was I close in the translation? No, I know I wasn't. Let's see. Paradox actually turned 17. Awesome. And Muhammad is back again. T, very nicely, very kindly says, Flower, if you're there, sending love. As we all are. Thank you for that, T. Paradox says, I'm actually kind of ashamed because I've been dreading something. Muhammad says his battery's been dying. No problem, my friend. Paradox says, well, if the chat doesn't mind, I'd like to share. Feel free. Destiny says, please like and share out this awesome channel just to Yogi. Before leaving, thanks for coming. Thank you for that. Destiny, very much appreciated. 13 likes. If I was our friend Noble, Scrolling Traveler, that means I'd have to do 10 push-ups. But since I'm not Noble, I don't have to do push-ups. Not that I'm against doing push-ups, of course. T says to Greg, be back later. Chat then, trying to go out. Enjoy your time out, T. Daradak says he'd like to chat immediately. Awesome. Daradak wants to know if Greg is a Christian. We'll let Greg answer that, but I do believe he mentioned that he was not religious. Jacob says, greeting and blessings to you all. Like I say, Miss Yogi, it's an honor to be part of your live stream and to support you. Much love and respect. Gotta go. Big salute to you. Big salute to you, my friend, as well. Goldie says it's great for weight loss. See, yeah, that heat and standing and working that entire time. Greg says, hey, B, it's good to get out. I wish you was getting out with you. Greg says he's an atheist. Yeah, I believe you mentioned that. I don't think you said atheist. You just said you weren't religious. Coffee says, I translate for you. I appreciate that. I said, I have, let's see. In English is, and Flo, how are you today? Again, I want to apologize for my bad English. Your bad English is probably just as good as mine, to be honest. And it is much, much better than any German that I could even attempt. Aradak says, okay, that's fine with him. He's not going to judge. He's Christian, but I respect your beliefs. Destiny says, thanks everyone for your kindness, love, support, and fellowship. Thanks for your fellowship and sharing your live. Just a Yogi. We'll see you all later. Blessings and love. Blessings and love to you, my friend. Thank you, Destiny. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the guidance that you've given me. Much love. There, Dr. Greg, I love you and mad respect. Christian, but respects your belief. Very much appreciated. So I'm going to have to wrap things up in just a minute. I got some eating to do myself. T says it's not easy with no cooking facilities, no fridge or freezer for yummy ice cream. Yeah, I had to give up. They were making really good vegan ice cream for a long time. Oatly, strawberry vegan ice cream, some of my favorite. But I gave it up a couple years ago. Goldie says to Greg, one thing we don't have is hazelnut coffee creamer. Interesting. Therodox says he worked at Walmart, guys, but I know I have a bigger job. I remember you saying you worked at Walmart. Greg says, thanks, Therodox. I just think that people need to believe in themselves. Gordy says to T that she was actually talking to myself. No hints intended. Nice message, Laradox. Appreciate that. Laradox says, Greg, yes, in my belief, Jesus loves you. And you get a salute from Goldie. Well done, Laradox. 100% agree. Here's what it feels like to me. Just my thoughts, not even opinion, just how it feels, is that our friend Laradox is settling into the love of Jesus. By settling in that love never has to push. Love never has to make a demand. Love just accepts and accepts and accepts. And in that acceptance, magic can happen. And it just seems that Laradox is coming from that place of love more and more often. And as Goldie said, well done. And also, Laradox, it's a beautiful thing to see, my friend. Greg says, the Goldie Irish cream is also great. Muhammad has to go. So happy to meet all my friends here and my best friend Yogi. Peace for all. Peace to you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the kind words. Destiny says, fellowship of beingness, to grant beingness to another person is to let them know that they are there and to acknowledge their existence. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Beautifully said. Beautifully said from a founding member of the Fellowship of Beingness. Therodox says, I don't think I was in the stream when Greg said that. Nope, I think that was yesterday. So, all right, guys, we're just going to about wrap things up. Gordy cannot find Irish cream either. Hey, you never know when an American friend might drop by with some hazelnut creamer in his pocket. She'd usually ask for a Reese's miniature peanut butter cup, so keep that in mind too. If I'm ever, cruising around and I think, you know what, I'm going to head on over to Romania, Transylvania specifically. Coffee says, was this Uber? Lieber guessing. Lieber means love, right? Gordy says, by Muhammad, have a lovely time with your family. I second that. Gussie says, see you later, lovely destiny. All right, I'm skipping down to the bottom and I'm working my way up. So Coffee says, I will go now because soon I'm going to bed. It won't be too long before I go to bed. A couple hours. And will be many hard work tomorrow for me. Early good night. To you all, Supermanner. Thank you, my friend. Have a very good night. Hope you get a good night's sleep. And a good day at work tomorrow, my friend. Thank you for being here. Therodox says, bye guys. You're like the only people I have here. Well, we are here for you. Tea is all supplied up. She's got her water, snack, and phone, hat, and shades. Everything you need, my friend. Gordy says, I'm slightly overweight and I know it, but I worked 44 years for those curves. I don't know why that came up twice. Lardak says, while I am Christian and I know myself, that I do try to want people to become Christians. Lardak says, I wish you guys could follow my religion, but if not, I don't judge. Well, I appreciate the not judging. And Greg says, not a whole lot I believe in. Laradox says, later guys, Laradox out. Thanks for stopping by, Laradox. All right, so I'm caught up in the chat. Skipped a few things, mainly goodbyes. But otherwise than that, I'm caught up. T says, Laradox, some of us have different beliefs and some of us have trauma over religion. Sadly so. Trauma around religion, sorry. Agreed. All across the board. So, all right, guys. I'm going to go. I will see everyone. I'm going to be back in like 2 hours. Anyone is bored, they got nothing to do, come on by, say hi. We've been making the a little bit shorter in the evening as I attempt to catch up on my sleep. I put out a video on YouTube channel, earning an income versus making a living. Just some thoughts. If anyone happens to watch it, let me know what you think. What are the possibilities? Is there a possibility to earn an income to pay your bills? I have very little bills, I should add. Is it a possibility of just doing this? Coming here and having a conversation about whatever anyone brings. and some nature shorts. Definitely not going to make a living doing burpees in my basement. um, there's not an audience for there's not an audience for an upper middle aged bald guy half naked doing burpees in his basement. As surprising as that was for me, I thought I was onto something, but um, that is not my road to fortune or fame, which is quite okay with me. Uh, just enough, as we've talked about here before. So we'll see. Hey, can trying to put out good vibes in the world, can that be just enough? Let me know what you guys think, and we'll talk about it next time if you're around. Thanks. Take care.